Rest in peace, Mavic 2. You were fun to fly for a very brief period of time. Good morning, guys. We are not off to a very great start. So I actually was on like the park connector, but I wanted to see what was on the other side of the river. So like I went across and I started cycling. And I started regretting because it was like gravel road, and then it started to get muddy. And then when I came to like the bridge to cross over back to the park connector, I was just trudging through a lot of mud and like tall grass. So now my entire shoe is soaked in mud. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable cycling, but it'll dry off eventually. Yeah, I haven't been out in a while, been sick, but I'll talk more about that in a later part of the video. Also, it's not even 9 and it's so hot and I'm sweating already. This is something I really don't like about Singapore. It's just like way too humid and way too hot for my outdoor activities. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll try to get this filming done today and hopefully the day progresses better. The day will progress better. It will. Good morning, guys. It's seriously so hot and I'm sweating so much. Seriously, like every time I'm out, I feel like you guys just see a very sweaty side of me, and I do apologize as well for the noise because of all the cicadas. What's new? But yeah, I'm really happy to be out because the whole of last week I was pretty much sick. I had gastritis and it was awful. I was pretty much like in bed all day. It was terrible, but I'm so happy to be out and about. Yeah, so today we're just going to be exploring this place. Well, not really this place, because this place is actually called Chestnut Park. I actually have been wanting to come here, but it's not really suitable for my bike because it's more of like a mountain biking route, or like if you want to go trekking and stuff. So my bike isn't really suited for this terrain, so we're gonna go to a different park instead. Yeah, but I will definitely come back soon to check out this park because it's really cool and it's just really pretty. It's like foresty, a lot of like hills and stuff, and yeah, my bike definitely cannot go through this terrain at all. So I made it to the dairy farm nature park, but I saw the sign that says no cycling beyond this point, and I was like, why is that? So I pushed my bike all the way up and I realized that it's actually a dead end for bikes. So it's like a hiking trail. You can bike in this park, but you have to use a mountain bike and go off trail, I believe. So my white bike is not suited for that. Overall, today was a bit of a interesting day out. A lot of things kind of went unplanned, like the muddy shoe, and then stumbling upon Chestnut Park, which was really pretty, but I wasn't able to go inside because of the bike, and now dairy farm as well. So yeah, a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. I did a bit of a workout, which is great. So now I'm just gonna cab home and have lunch and do a little bit of a mukbang with you guys and kind of update you guys on what has happened the last month, and particularly last week with my incidents of the gastritis. So yeah, I'm gonna head home now and I'll catch you guys there. Hey guys! So we are back in the house. I'm so glad to be indoors right now because it is really hot, and I decided to do my hair a little so I look less manky. I feel like you guys have seen me like all sweaty and stuff in the last couple of vlogs, so I decided to like change it up a little. Anyways, we are in my sister's room, and the reason why we're in here eating is because my brother has a couple of friends over and they're outside, so it might get a little bit rowdy. Hopefully not, but yeah, so I decided to eat inside and we are just sitting by the window, so we are getting like window light. It is quite funny because there's like an apartment that is directly opposite ours, and it'd be kind of awkward if like someone catches me kind of like filming. But anyways, so today we have a bagel. I'm not really a bagel person. I don't know, like maybe this might revolutionize my life. But this is a bagel from Two Man Bagel. I don't know, my brother ordered it for me and his friends. I think it's Two Man Bagel. Apparently it's really famous. Ooh, so I got the smoked salmon one. It looks pretty legit. I don't know if you're supposed to eat bagels warm, because I think this was like ordered at 11ish, and then now is like probably close to 1, so hopefully it's still good. I got the smoked salmon, and it comes with what looks to be dill and onions, tomatoes, and I don't know, cream cheese. We'll see how this goes. Also, this is like my first mukbang, so bear with me. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of weird watching people eat. I'm a little bit like self-conscious whenever I eat, because I used to eat really fast. Like now I'm trying to slow down so that yeah, so that it's always better to eat slow anyway. So okay, this is the first bite. It feels so weird doing this. Anyways. It's actually really good. Okay. I understand why people like bagels now. Ooh, it's really good with the cream cheese. Hopefully it's in focus. Yeah. And even though I have one full bagel, I feel like even just taking the first bite, it's gonna be a really filling meal. Also, whenever I eat, it's kind of like awkward when there's like things in your teeth and like people don't tell you. So hopefully there isn't anything in my teeth, because that would be like so awkward. Okay, I have a mirror on the side and the LCD. So yeah, bear with me. This is really, really good. Ooh. Oh, okay, so I actually wanted the garlic rye, and my brother managed to get it because I wasn't sure if it was like a special based on like different stores. This is like the garlic rye bagel. It has like garlic chips on top, which is so yummy. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. I've always thought rye was like dark in color, so when I saw this I wasn't sure like what bagel it was, but it's actually really good. Yeah, so in today's kind of like mukbang, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been up to so far. More so like how I've been doing, because I actually had like gastritis last week and it was terrible. Yeah. Also, I don't really know how people do mukbangs and like eat and talk at the same time, you know, it's kind of strange. But anyways, I had gastritis and I was literally in bed like the whole week. I was like going to work on and off, and it was just terrible. And I've never been a foodie in the sense of like I've never really like, you know, had major cravings when it comes to food. I'm like super simple when it comes to eating, so I don't really kind of look forward to eating, if that makes sense. I kind of like just eat to live. Yeah, whereas like most people like live to eat. So yeah, when I was out, like it just made me appreciate food so much, and it made me appreciate having a good digestive system. And yeah, I kind of like went into this whole spiral because I was in a lot of pain, and I always thought I was like a positive person until that incident where I was just really down in spirits. And yeah, it made me realize how important it is to kind of like keep your thinking focusing on like positive thoughts, because it's very easy, especially when you're going through like a less than ideal situation, to kind of like think of the worst, or just be really low in spirits. And so I found myself like really struggling last week, and it just made me question a lot of things. Actually, prior to the birthday video that I uploaded last week, I actually had scheduled a different video, but when I looked back on it, I was talking a lot about gear, and I realized that I didn't really want this channel to be like a gear channel or like technology or all about consumerism, because that's something that I feel is really plaguing our society, and there's like so many people who are unhappy because they're always looking at, you know, what will fill them up, like the next best thing. And so as I watched back on that video, I was like, you know what, I don't want this. And so I decided not to upload it. And so when I was out with like this gastritis, I was just thinking a lot about my life and kind of, you know, what I want to do. I don't know, I was just in this really like contemplative mood, and it just made me not want so many things, if that makes sense. Like even when I was just thinking about like filming and stuff, you know, I think when I was younger, or even like, you know, prior to all of this, I was always thinking of like, how can I update my gear, how can I get, you know, something that will help with telling the story and stuff. And while I do believe that getting good gear that you enjoy really helps in the workflow and it kind of keeps you inspired in some sense, I've also realized that, you know, it's so tiring and exhausting to be chasing or like always saving up for, you know, the next thing that will kind of like make you happy, when in reality it really doesn't. And so it just got me thinking a lot about just life in general and where I really want this channel to go. I think for me and this channel, I really love just sharing, and, you know, just even though the filming kind of takes time as well as the editing, I just love the process of it. It's so funny, like if you actually saw me in real life doing my behind the scenes, like for example when I go cycling and I do all these like shots of me cycling, it's actually so bizarre and like funny, because you'll see me like mounting the camera and the tripod and like having their filming, and then I'll be like going from one end of the shot to the next, and then like I'll kind of like park the bike, run back to camera, and then grab it and go again. So it's just really funny. Like the whole process takes a lot of time, but I really enjoy it. And yeah, it's something that I actually really look forward to each weekend, because it's a time where I get to create and really just enjoy, I guess, that time alone and being able to explore parts of Singapore. Okay, I'm gonna eat a little bit more and then I'll continue talking. It's actually really, really good. Honestly, it's really hard to film and eat because I don't want to like appear rude, like just eating and stuff. And it's also a bit weird to like talk and eat because it's not very sightly. So I'll try and make this like quick. But yeah, I've actually been sewing a lot more. I've actually sewn this top a while back, which is, yeah, really nice. And it's honestly a bit difficult to juggle like full-time work and wanting to film and make clothes. And I think that was one of the many excuses why I've put it off for such a long time. But I've actually been waking up early, not like 4:30. I know I had a video where I was doing like that 4 a.m. routine, but I've kind of pushed it back to 5. So 5 is kind of like a good time. So I normally spend like the first hour kind of in quiet time, just really praying and like doing a bit of worship, kind of being in God's presence. That's how I love to start the morning. And then I'll spend the next hour doing a bit of sewing. I'm actually really surprised by how much you can accomplish in an hour. I think a lot of times we take like blocks of like 1 hour, 2 hours for granted, and I think that's something that I've noticed over the last couple of weeks. Like on weeknights, I know a lot of people, once they knock off from work, they just like to kind of like chill out at home and, you know, just not think about things like watch TV and stuff. But I realized that if you add up those hours, that actually amounts to quite a bit. So as much as possible, I try to sew, first thing in the morning and in the evenings as well. Yeah, I've actually really been enjoying it. I haven't made anything new per se because I'm in the process of like helping my sister and one of my close friends alter their clothes, so that's taking a little bit of time. But I really look forward to sewing clothes again for myself, and that's something that I want to feature more on this channel. Yeah, even like the whole self-portraiture thing as well. Yeah, I just can't wait for us to like not have to wear masks, because that will, I guess, give me that sort of like peace of mind, because I don't want to be like out shooting and kind of looking very ignorant and like a bit of a bimbo in that sense, where I'm like just taking self-portraitures while other people are kind of like suffering during this time. So I want to be mindful and considerate of, you know, the predicaments that other people are going through. But it's something that I really look forward to in time to come. Yeah, it's been interesting. And oh yeah, I keep forgetting to tell you guys what happened to my Mavic, but I feel like had this happened like prior to me kind of like changing my perspective on things, I probably would have been really upset. And especially if this happened like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, I'd probably be like crying. But what happened was I was flying the drone over the Marina Bay area, and I didn't realize that and I hope that you guys can learn from this as well, but batteries kind of wear out over time, in a sense that if you don't use it, the charge and like the voltage sort of like diminishes over time. And so what happened was, I've actually had my battery for like maybe 2 years, and when I was living in Sydney, I wasn't really filming much because I was very scared to fly the drone. And so over time, the battery sort of like bloats up. And actually it's been like a known thing with the Mavic 2s, whereby the battery kind of like expands and it pops out of its place. And so what happens is the drone will like disconnect, and essentially it there's like the danger of it falling out from the sky. So it actually makes sense to me now why it's not very safe to fly over like buildings and people, especially when there's like a lot of traffic, because of that risk of like, you know, the battery dismounting and the drone falling from the sky. And so what happened was, I was flying the drone over the water. I'm actually really grateful that this happened over the water and not like on someone's head, you know. I don't want to be like charged for murder in some sense. And suddenly on the remote it said disconnected, and so I was like baffled, and I tried like calling the drone home, but it just wasn't responding. Yeah, and I literally like ran to the other side of the bay, had to catch a cab there trying to find my drone, but it was nowhere to be found. So I'm pretty sure that it fell into the water. But like I said, I'm actually really glad that it fell into the water and not on someone's head. Yeah, so a bit of a shame, but lesson learned, to change your batteries regularly. I will caution as well, if you are looking at getting Mavic 2, yeah, it's been a known thing that this battery issue of it kind of like popping out of its place is quite common. When I was like looking up at threads, and even my brother was telling me. But I'm actually really glad that the new Air 2S is out. I'll probably get it sometime. I don't know when. Yeah, it's a lot smaller, has a 1-inch sensor, and yeah, it looks great. So not all is a lost cause. I think even now I'm realizing that
a lot of things can be replaced. So there's no point in like getting upset over these sort of things. It's really not worth your time or, you know, the stress. So yeah, so rest in peace, Mavic 2. You were fun to fly for a very brief period of time. I have like a tomato juice flowing out. But seriously, this is good. So I'll probably end off the vlog here because I do want to eat this and I don't want to be like conscious of kind of like wasting your time as well. So that's it for this video. Yeah, it's a really short one this week, but I really want to have it out today so that I can keep that consistency of having one video a week. So I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, bye!